So I would like to welcome you to day 3 of the Mogul Code. We're halfway there. I'm so excited. Tonight I will be your presenter. And you said, oh, brand is Lotus Cosmetics and Alpha. Okay. So we will be talking about positioning your brand and increasing your visibility. And for those who do not know me, my name is Averri. I am the Chief Empowerment Officer of Black Women Moguls, where we help women entrepreneurs to increase their visibility and connections so they can grow their sales. So I'm excited that you're here tuning in. And okay, so it's Lotus Cosmetics and Alpha is a women's and men's skincare brand. Okay, good. Can't wait to dive more into that later. So I'm just happy for you all to be here, and thank you so much for just joining on a Wednesday. I know it conflicts with church. You could be anywhere, but congratulations for saying that you want to improve your visibility, improve your brand, and elevate so we can have a successful end of 2019 and go into 2020 with a bang. So before I start, I would like to know your number one challenge when it comes to branding your business and building your brand. And that way I can have some context as we move forward. And while you type that up, I'm going to read some of the challenges that some of the other viewers who are going to be doing the replays, what they put in on their form. So one person said, I am struggling with packaging my brand and building content around it. In her mind, she knows what she wants, but getting it on paper is where the roadblock lies. Someone else says that they are she was battling imposter syndrome. However, she is ready to push forward in building a legitimate business. I have definitely been there with imposter syndrome and sometimes still suffer with it, but then I have to remind myself, you know your topic, so just go with what you know and stay in your lane. So I can definitely relate to that. Someone else said that she is honestly not sure if she is going in the right direction. Someone said that she is new to a particular area, so she is still finding ideal clients. Hello, come on in. We're having people type in their number one challenge with building their business and brand. And let's see. So yeah, that was it. So if that sounds like anything that you're dealing with, you are definitely in the right place. And of course, I can't cover everything with our limited time together, but I do want to leave you at least with one tangible step that will help you build your business. Okay, so I want to start off with asking you to put a 1 in the comments if you think that having a lot of followers is essential to building a profitable brand. And I'll wait a moment while I wait for that to come in. And if you don't think that, put a 0. And it's a 1 if you do think you need to have a lot of followers, and 0 if not. Okay, so I see 1 right there. Okay, I see another 1. Okay, so, well, while that is what most people say, it really is not important how many followers that you have on your Instagram. Honestly, okay, so let me give you a little context. Black Women Moguls was officially started in February, and it derived from Black Business Connect, which has been in business for 5 years. Hello. Oh, it's Lene. Hi. So we did not have a lot of followers, yet we were getting high visibility and connections with maybe just 300 or 400 followers. And I'm going to give you this case study that proves that having a lot of followers does not equate to sales. So there was this influencer who had, I think it was, 2.6 million followers on her Instagram. And she started a t-shirt line. But unfortunately, she could not sell 36 shirts with a following of 2.6 million followers. And let me tell you a few reasons why they said that she was not successful in building her lunch. The influencer marketing expert Shirley Lee Wood Oates said that there was nothing special about the t-shirts and nothing personal or creative, inspirational, or exciting about it. Someone said that they were overpriced and her brand image was weak. Someone said that she had lack of promotion on her channel. So it was basically like maybe she promoted it one day saying this line is coming out, and the next day, boom, there were the shirts, but she didn't have a build up. She didn't nurture her audience. And then there was another one that said she posted 2 images, and another comment said it didn't fit with the rest of her style. So that's not what the target market was expecting. So this was a harsh reality that she had to face. She ended up having to close down her shop, and she couldn't sell 36 t-shirts. So let me know if that statistic surprises you that she couldn't sell that. Put a 1 in the comments. So while we're waiting for that, let me tell you a few key takeaways that you can learn from her mistakes. Number 1 is to know your target market. Okay, I see the 1 coming in. Yes, so it was very surprising. So not knowing your target market, it influences so many facets of your business. And personally, after I discovered my target market, that's when I had more clarity and I could easily plan for that specific target market by asking them their pain points. So had this influencer asked her target market, what are you looking for in my brand? How does my particular product align with what you think? She might have avoided this pitfall and possibly sold out all of her t-shirts. Also, it's essential to know their taste and preferences. And again, that goes back to finding out what their pain points are. So with let me go back up to one of the comments. So the Lotus Cosmetics and Alpha, one thing you could do, I don't know if you do it already, but just using you as an example, you can utilize the Instagram polls to see what line what they like to come out with next, what product would they like to come up next, how are the existing products faring as well. So just surveying to see what about your product line, and also what are they struggling with as far as skincare, just to see if that is something you can offer in the future. Also, you want to, if possible, you want to know before launching your offer if this is something that the target market would like. One way to do that is through a beta testing. You can, like with a, not necessarily Instagram poll, but do an online survey and give a giveaway for free to have an incentive to see exactly if this is something the target market would want. So another myth that people have is that if they build it, it'll come. So if you build a product or service, the people will come. However, if people do not know about your business or brand, how will they know to buy from you? So that's one of the main problems, that people do not communicate the quality and the benefits and features of their product or service. So if you don't know what the difference between benefits and features are how, what the product does or the service does, and the benefits are the results that the product or service offers. So when you focus more on the benefits, that is more important, more so than the features, because people want to know how will it change their life. So if I have this this product for, I'll use skincare cream that will clear up all of my blemishes, I want to know how long will it clear up my blemishes. Will it do it forever? Will it prevent like other skin conditions? What will it do for my skin that these other products won't do? So how does it make it stand out from other skincare lines, and why should I buy from you to have this particular product? Also, aligning your message with your product is very key. If you are all over the place with your messaging, your target market will not know what to expect from you. So making sure that your messaging is key is essential, and making sure it's consistent, that it's not wavering, so you don't confuse your target market. And with that, also, you want to speak in a language where your audience understands. So I'm not sure if you notice with Black women moguls how the language is. It's more like a friend kind of voice, a sister, a sis queen kind of voice, because mostly my target market are millennial women. and we say queen and sis all the time. So that's why I speak in that certain tone to attract my ideal audience, if that makes sense. Are there any questions so far? I'll pause a minute. You said, okay, so I see I'm so new to this. So the fact that you said that makes me feel like I'm going in the right direction. Oh, good. I'm glad. And feel free to ask questions throughout this process. Stop me and I'll be sure to look. Okay, good. Makes sense. Perfect. Okay, so another mistake that entrepreneurs make is being too salesy. And I know it can sound like a paradox, like you want to make sales, but you don't want to be too salesy. But there's this thing called the 80-20 rule. And that means 80% content and value and 20% salesy. And then there's a way you can come across saying sales, but not overly making it sound salesy. It's kind of like, it's not a trick because it's out there, but it's just a certain way you can do that. And unfortunately, I don't have time to cover it in this segment. But you want to make sure that whatever you do, again, it goes back to aligning with your target market, aligning with your values. Make sure it connects to your overall offer. So one of the things, for example, we do with Black Women Moguls is Tip Tuesday. It's not necessarily an offer, but we're giving value to our audience and making sure that we're showing our expertise and positioning ourselves as an expert in the go-to brand, if that makes sense as well. So let me know your comments as we go. So we talked about the 80-20 rule. Another thing that people do not leverage is making personal connections. A lot of people place emphasis on social media, but social media isn't the only avenue to get followers or get an audience, I should say. Sometimes your audience is not even on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I have found that even though, of course, a lot of people on social media and it's easy to reach people, I've made the best connections at networking events, hosting events on my own. Doing Instagram lives is still great too because they get to see your face, your personality. But when I go to events, it's just you have more of a rapport because they can see you in person, they can ask you questions, and just making those connections, and then you have their email to follow up with and still build that relationship, which gets into the next segment about nurturing audience connections and nurturing your audience. So again, back with the example I gave earlier of the influencer, she did not, even though she had an audience, she did not take the time to nurture her audience by just doing a sequence of a post for her upcoming t-shirt line. So a better way to do it is, hey guys, I'm going to be launching a t-shirt line, and she doesn't have to necessarily say when, but I would love your feedback, or what would you like for me to put in this t-shirt line? Asking questions and engaging her audience along the way to make them feel a part of the process. Also, collecting emails in advance so instead of just saying I'm going to launch it through Instagram, having that email list to have at your fingertips so you can send them a sales funnel. If you're not familiar with a sales funnel, let me know and I can explain that a little bit. So just having that, or even having a coupon code to help collect those emails, because people love freebies. People love to get discounts off of their off of whatever they're buying. So there was a better way she could have done that throughout the process. And then again, explain the sales funnel. Okay, so let me think of a perfect example. Okay, so I'm sure most of you might sign up for email list on maybe your favorite store. It could be, let me think of let's go with your favorite store. So any any website, maybe like Fenty Beauty or Sephora, they say sign up for 10% off. Basically, what that is an opt-in, and you are exchanging your email list. Sephora, okay, so you're familiar with that. You are exchanging your email and to get a discount, or sometimes you might get a checklist if it's a service-based business. For instance, on my website, I say a free profit planning session, Or even with the Mogul Code Summit, I collected emails so they could get the replays of all of these stuff that you're familiar with. So basically, after you collect someone's email, you have the information. And the reason why this is important is because I'm sure we all remember when Instagram went down more than once this year, everyone was panicking about, oh goodness, how am I going to connect with my audience? How am I going to make a post? But those with email lists, they did not have to worry because they could just go to their MailChimp or ConvertKit to send an email saying, oh, this offer is still going on, and they could still just send to their email list whatever they wanted to for the day. So after you have your opt-in, it's just basically a series of automated emails. Some automated is better. I wouldn't say do it manually because that's too much work. We want to build systems so we can work smarter, not harder. So after that, you'll have like an email that positions you as an expert, an email that says, like for me, I sometimes say, sign up for my, again, 30-minute profit planning session, which is free. And then it gets to the offer. So you're basically nurturing your audience with a series of emails that leads up to your final offer. Does that make sense? I'll wait for a minute to see before moving on. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me see what else I did not cover. And let me know if there are any other questions in the chat. I don't see any at the moment. Okay, so the final piece is people want to know the person behind the brand. I know a lot of us get shy about getting in front of a camera, and I do too sometimes, especially it was like maybe 2 weeks ago. I was so nervous about getting in front of this big audience on stage, but it's important for us to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. Hello, welcome, come on in. So one way to do that, one way to get over it, that is just really just to jump in. You can easily push yourself into that by just doing an Instagram live. You don't have to do it in person first. But I do challenge you to do more Instagram lives until you can take that next step to position yourself in front of your audience. That's how I was able to get, I think we have 6 features so far across different media platforms because I was not afraid. I had to push past my fear of imposter syndrome or not feeling like I might not be big enough yet to get these media features. But it's so important that we do that because, like I said, if they don't know where you are, how will they buy from you? How will they know that you're even existing? So that's so important. Also, hosting your own events is great. Even if it's a service-based business, a product-based business, you can pair with a service-based business to put together an event. And for product-based businesses, you can go to Facebook groups and market your products. You can see if there are vendor events in your area. You can be a sponsor at different events. That's a great way to get visibility. We also have visibility opportunities. So one of the things that I do when I'm looking for visibility is using the hashtag sponsors wanted, gift bag, contributors wanted, just different things because I really just look at the hashtags. That's how I find out about speaking engagements and then other things of that nature. So that's really all I have, but I do want to leave you with this, that it takes 6 to 8 touches to generate a viable sales lead, which means that people will not buy from you on the first time, most likely. Sometimes they will. So that's why, again, it's important to collect your email list, your email addresses, so you can nurture your audience and to build those connections throughout the process. So I will open the floor for questions if you have any. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about what I spoke about today. If you need me to reiterate some things, I can definitely do that. It could be about my social media process of how I schedule in advance. So just let me know. Okay, so what hashtags do I use to search for speaking engagements? Okay, so I look again for speakers wanted. I also look at different conferences that are coming up or past conferences to see when they are coming up. So I think I've just recently created a list of different places. Let me think of. If you give me a moment, I can look up some. I know like Trailblazer Conference, they're looking for speakers. Just 1 second. Let me pull up my list because I don't mind sharing. And if there are other questions, put that in the comments below while I look up this list. What helped me to establish myself as a speaker? That's a good question. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. So just practice. And actually, you know what? If you DM me your email address, I have 2 speaker books that I can share with you. That also helped me recently win a pitch competition because I was so nervous about that, but it helped give tips about how to be a speaker. So I kind of have this formula that I do when I speak or when I'm pitching myself is open up with a thought-provoking quote and say the quote, how it related to me, and then introduce myself. And then I'll go into the topic, and throughout the presentation, it all relates back to the quote. So that's kind of the formula I use right now. Let's see. One moment. Okay, here we go. And also another thing would be to even starting local is good too, and finding podcasts as well. That's how I got started getting more visibility in the beginning, looking at different podcasts and pitching myself, saying, hello, I would like to be featured on your podcast, or looking at people who are actually looking for podcast speakers. So that's what you've been thinking about doing. Good. Yes, that's a great way to start. Let's see. And then also there are local events, yes, and then podcasts. Perfect. Let's see. Okay, so speaking engagements. And so one thing I would say is look at local organizations like National Council of Negro Women might be good if they will allow you to speak. Local business chamber of commerce, the Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm sure you have to have one in your area. Even if not as a speaker, at least start going to those events, and then you can know who's looking for speakers as well. There is the Dare to Aspire conference, and I can't remember exactly what state or city that's in. Let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad that helped. There is the Power Rising Conference. Again, I can't remember where that is located. Black Women Hustle. They're looking for speakers, and I think they have different locations. I know they have DC, Atlanta. I want to say Texas, but I think it's like 5 different places that they have placed. Did I begin as a speaker on other platforms prior? I've had leadership roles, I guess, so that kind of prepared me as well. I also thought about, even now, still going to Toastmasters because I feel like I can always improve as a speaker. Sometimes I wonder if I come across clear enough, so I think that, and speak clear enough, so I think that I can still improve. So I'm thinking about doing Toastmasters even now. As I guess I could say seasoned speaker, maybe. Any other questions? Okay, and National Sales Network, that's another good place to go. I think they have chapters throughout. And so, so again, going to the chambers of commerce, different business organizations that are local. That's a great way to start, because if they have a local chapter, more than likely they have a national chapter, and you can work your way up. Here in Atlanta, hopefully something is similar in your area. I have pitched myself to various women's organizations, even the library. If you have to offer your services up for free to the library just to say that you have that experience under your belt, that's really good. Any other questions, whether it's related to speaking, building your brand, marketing? I'll wait for a minute where that comes up. Okay, good. Oh, that's a good idea too. Okay. Okay, just waiting for any more questions before we close. If no questions, let me know. Has this been helpful for you? And while we wait for those comments, I do want to let you know that I do have a free, oh, good. Yes, very much so. Great. I know it's not as long as the other ones, but I don't know. I tend to be concise with my message, get straight to the point. I don't know. I always like when I have meetings for my organization, I'm usually finished in 20 minutes. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I would like to invite you to the 30-minute profit planning session, which is free. This is where we set up a one-on-one consultation and identify the challenges you're having in your business, and that way we can identify how we can help in your next step of building your brand. So I would like to invite you to that. You can go online to www.blackwomenmoguls.com to sign up. I think I'll check my availability, but there should be some openings for next week if you want to go ahead and sign up for that. So thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. If there are no more questions, I'll wait one more minute. We will go ahead and close. Okay, and yeah, don't forget to send me your email list, and that's for anybody. Email to so I can send you those 2 books to help you with speaking. And that goes for anybody if you need some resources. I don't mind sharing it. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Have a good evening.